What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. We're back with the Real Talk Book Tag 2.0. No one tagged me to do this, but I saw Mayana's video and I just felt a little bit inspired to do my own take on this. I would say a lot of the views that she had are pretty similar to what I feel about it, but I still wanted to sort of give my 2 cents. I also think it's a little out of my comfort zone. I don't think I did the first original Real Talk book tag. Something about having to be, honest and completely just 100% open about what your thoughts are is a little difficult for me. Not only am I a Libra, but I'm also a Hufflepuff, so I have a hard time with confrontation or just hurting anyone else's feelings. I hate thinking that something that I say could possibly hurt someone, but we're gonna push through it. And of course, to soften the blow and just comfort my Libra and Hufflepuff self a little bit, obviously these are all my opinions, my thoughts. If you differ or have other opinions and thoughts, that's totally okay. I'm not trying to come at you, I'm not trying to attack you for your beliefs and what you think. This is just how I personally feel. I will link the original video as well as Mayana's video down in the description box. First question: if you could give yourself one piece of advice when you started making videos, what would it be? I would definitely tell myself, girl, your thumbnails need to be clear, legible, and consistent, because I feel like my thumbnails were all over the place. If you look at my earlier videos, I was definitely more focused on it being really pretty writing and having really cute colors. I was trying to do this gradient effect at the beginning, but it just wasn't working. You really can't see the title in the thumbnail because, one, the colors just didn't work with the actual picture of the thumbnail. If you're wondering what that squeaky noise is, it's my dog biting her pig. And second of all, just the font type, the actual font that I used just was not helping it at all. So I would definitely tell myself to work on my thumbnails and try to come up with a consistent format for my thumbnails. I would like to say that now they are at least consistent. You can see them pretty clearly, so I'm happy with that. But definitely my earlier thumbnails were not good. I would probably also tell myself to work on the angle. I know looking back on them, I used to film on my phone, so it was harder to get the exact angle that I was wanting. Question number 2, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? And this is a bit of a loaded question, is it not? My Libra doesn't want to offend anyone, but I feel like there's a lot of it just on Twitter in general. And I think some people over abuse it, or they try to cancel people for, in my opinion, totally invalid reasons. So I definitely feel like it is a thing, but I don't think people take it as serious. Once it happens, everyone forgets about it, but I don't think we actually hold them accountable for it. We cancel them for a little bit, but then we go on as if nothing happened, as if their actions didn't happen or the words that they said were spoken. And I think that's the issue with cancel culture, is that we don't hold them accountable. In my opinion, yes, it's a thing, but it's not a permanent thing. And I also don't think it's equally dispersed among all of the races. Also, I do think some people abuse it. I think some people cancel someone just for having a different opinion than you. Question 3, do you consider BookTube to be a welcoming community? I think BookTube is the most welcoming community. At first, I think everyone is always so welcoming of new creators, but it does not stay that way. Or at least once you've been in the community, you realize that people are nasty, people judge you, people try to come at you for having specific tastes in certain books that they don't like, or they get offended when you say a negative thing about a book or you point out something that's problematic about that book, and people come at you or subtweet you and throw shade. Question 4, what are your thoughts on book consumerism? I think it's a thing, but honestly, name one area of YouTube that isn't filled with consumerism. But I don't really care about it because You do what you want with your money, I'll do what I want with my money. I don't care what you spend your money on. If I want to buy 3 subscription boxes and get 3 boxes filled with junk that I'm not actually going to use, that's my problem. You don't pay my bills. I don't ask you for money to pay my bills. So it's a thing, yeah, of course, but I think it's a thing anywhere, and I don't really care what you do. Do you feel pressured to buy books? I wouldn't say I feel pressured. I mean, of course I feel like FOMO when everyone on BookTube is talking about a specific book, but I don't feel pressured like I need to go buy this book right now. It's more of like, wow, kind of sucks that I don't have it, but I'm not really interested in it, or I just can't afford it at this moment. So I feel like it would be pressure if I would actually go out and buy those books when everyone's talking about them, but I never feel that pressure to go out and buy that book at the moment. Question 5, would you consider yourself a critical reader or reviewer? Sadly, no. I wish I was. I really do. There are certain booktubers that I'm subscribed to who are so eloquent and like definitely have their thoughts together, like the plot and the writing and the style and the format, and I'm just like, I really like this book. This book made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. 5 stars. So, I mean, sometimes I will mention pacing, or if there's issues with the plot that I'm not okay with, I will include that in my review, but the meat and potatoes of my reviews are feelings and how it made me feel, so definitely very, very subjective with my reviews. Question 6, do you take part in readathons? I have only ever successfully completed the Zodiac-a-thon, and even for that, I didn't read the group book. I have started a few or thought about participating in a few, but I just can't stick to them, especially this year where it feels like I have just been in an eternal reading slump. It's been a disastrous year for my reading habits. I don't know what's going on. What are your thoughts on readathons? I would say that I feel like BookTube has recently been oversaturated with readathons. Like every month there's 1 or 2 readathons going on in the community. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it does feel a little oversaturated. I would say I'm more partial to holiday readathons or zodiac astrology readathons, clearly. I have discovered though that I don't necessarily like the competitive readathons where you have to log in pages. I don't know why, something about that. I just think it's the pressure of having to read so much. Whereas when it's more leisure, like it's just like read a book that fills this prompt. So I definitely like the low-key, more laid-back readathons. Not a fan of the competitive readathons. And question 7, recommend a book with a topic or issue that you are passionate about. I did end up picking a book that has not been released yet. It has a publication date of February 1st of 2020. It is an e-arc that I received from NetGalley. And it is the only book that I've read in October. I mean, it is currently October 26th. I don't think I'm going to get anything else read. I'm going to make an effort, but I doubt it. Anyways, besides the point. I really enjoyed it. I think I gave it either a 4 or a 4.5 star rating. And that is What Kind of Girl by Alyssa Scheinmel. And again, hasn't been released yet, but I absolutely loved this book. It is about domestic abuse and mental illness. I don't want to say too much. I do plan on doing like a book chat about it since it's the only book I read in the month of October. Basically, what this book deals with is kind of the chaos of the aftermath of someone reporting domestic abuse. We have the victim who has gone to school and reported that her boyfriend has hit her and she has a bruise. She has visible signs of this abuse, but everyone is really hesitant to believe her because he happens to be the town's golden boy. Like perfect, they were the perfect couple. She never complained. Like, how did this happen? What did you do? And I'm very passionate about that. I'm very passionate about basically, like, if I could just sum it up, like the Me Too movement, like all of these, not just women, but just people in general coming out with their assault stories or abuse or rape stories. And that is just something that I feel incredibly incredibly passionate about, like helping all of these people and definitely, you know, believing the victim. In this book, I loved it. I think they did so well, like the victim shaming, the guilt that the victim felt herself, and the doubt of, was it my fault? Did I do something? Was it something I said? Could I have prevented it? So I just think the book did it incredibly well. And also the mental illness aspect, I think, was portrayed so well. We have one character struggling with bulimia. We have a different character struggling with cutting and anxiety and panic attacks, and I just think the way they described those scenes were so powerful, and it's definitely a book that I would recommend to everyone. Well, if you're in the right mindset for the book, I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, I think it portrayed the, like, I don't want to say stereotypical, but you know, definitely what a victim of domestic abuse or abuse in general has to go through just once they get their story out. Like, it doesn't just end when you tell someone. You still have to deal with the skeptical people and what do we do now, and the feelings that the victim is going through themselves. So that's definitely a book that I'm passionate about, and I would recommend it if you're in this right mindset to read it. And look out for my book chat. I will go more into details about what happens, what I liked, what I didn't like, why wasn't it a 5-star read. Look out for that. The last question is tag 3 friends. I wasn't tagged myself, so I don't think I'm gonna tag anyone. If you feel like doing this tag, definitely go ahead and do it. Like, be honest, say your truth, say what you believe. I had fun doing this tag. My Libra and Hufflepuff self inside is like quaking at all this honesty. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Elle. I'm truly a Libra Hufflepuff, and I'll see you in next time's video.